pretty good teams. I mean, they're certainly a fight, for every point that you get. So it should be a
They've won
really
against
interesting match.
us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Me,
I mean,
actually.
they're no pushovers by any measure of the imagination. But it'll be interesting to see how Cake Solaris does against this combined Bard team now. Because these are the guys that have some pretty interesting builds as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out.
Then if you're talking about builds, let's see what kind
Yes.
of builds they are.
Right, so on the Bard team for Duck Duck Goose, the goldfish, they have a blender fish. So it's a blender in the front, or a heavy carry in the front, port side flare, and a starboard side banshee. And then on their galleon, the Muse Kafka's hair gel has port side Hades Minotaur Lumberjack with a starboard side double Minotaur. I'm sorry, Manticore, and then the aft has a flare.
And for the Solar Cake, the shenanigans, I should call it Admiral Opus is the junker, as you can see. Left side Hades, Artemis, front Artemis, and right side Gatling flag. And it's allied the Ayetach, you need to pronounce this for me.
The fourth one, Alopecoid, I guess.
Yes, you pronounce it beautifully while the Gallons losing armor just dying to all the Artemis. I'm watching this with Moses will say. Anyway, this mobile piloted by Slive Crossfox has top Mercury, bottom Artemis light flag, and top wing Gatling Artemis for some close range potential for the gunner the Gatling.
Now, while you were mentioning all these ship builds, it looks like the first engagement opened up with these two blue ships on the galleon, and it was pretty successful initially because they were disabling a lot of the components on that galleon. And as you can see, it only has about roughly 15% hull left. But now this blender fish tried to come up from behind to kind of surprise the mogul. It didn't seem to be too successful though from that engagement there.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to distract him from the galleon so it can repair his guns for a second, because Mercury double Artemis really good for destroying guns, especially heavy guns since they're easy to hit.
Yeah, the galleon being disabled, that hold period there, probably put the goldfish at a slight disadvantage because the combined firepower having the support from galleon while the blenderfish is engaging one of the ships certainly doesn't hurt to help with aiding the goldfish there. But it does look like he's trying to move back now and see if he can get a better angle on coming in.
I think Galen wants to get behind this archery, kind of, to get some sort of cover if necessary, because it's kind of at low health. I don't think they want to risk another armor destruction. And it already happened, oh my god. Artemis, are they going to hit the hole? Not quite. Not quite.
Yeah, this Cake team, this Cake Solaris team is certainly holding their ground. They have not lost any components I've seen yet, is it? I mean, I certainly haven't seen the... Well, maybe... I think maybe the Mobula might have suffered some damage, but they certainly don't have any hull damage at all, so...
They both got some balloon damage, so the Gallon was hitting some shots. But maybe not consistent enough to actually drop one of them. Dropping ships, dropping one of these Solar Cake ships with the Gallon's damage check is going to be very important for the Bards, yes. Because the Artemis can't really shoot upwards, so this is gonna be their moment of attack. And speaking of which, the Junker lost his balloon, but it's rogue shooting. And considering this is fjords, this is gonna take a while for the Junker to drop to significant altitude.
Yeah.
So let's see how that works out.
This is Logicalia and Nano Duckling piloting on the Bards team, so it should be really interesting to see what they come up with, because they tend to gel pretty well together as pilots. So I'm sure, despite the damage they've incurred so far, there might be some kind of turnaround. Who knows?
They took ships that are kind of complements of each other. The opposites, like close range goldfish and the long range galleon. And they are fighting long range ships, and this goldfish instantly lost all of that health.
Yeah, that flare going out there. Ooh.
That flare.
I mean the flex. Yeah. The flare. Well, hey, flares do take out 10% of the hull armor, hull for certain ships, particularly Pyramidians. So it is pretty.
I have come to know that when you don't prepare for the random flare of hitting your gun, balloon or armor, you will lose this component forever.
Yeah, it can be pretty game changing sometimes. It's surprising. Yeah.
What was it? 15 stacks of fire, Thomas?
It's not 20 the flare. Actually. So when it hits, it's 20 stacks. Yeah.
Okay.
What the? No, the flare is 15.
Yeah, I thought it can't
be 20. It
be
used
20.
to be 15.
No, it used to be 10. Then when Chem
It
Spray
used to
fixed
be
it
10,
to
yeah,
7.
it was
You're right,
accidentally
yeah.
buffed
It's
by
15, yeah.
15.
I'm mixing up numbers now. But yeah, you're right. It is 15 up from 10 before, so still burns out guns.
Yeah.
You know, as
Guns
if it didn't
away
need
with
the buff.
Ayetach to fire and the
Yep.
flares it's 15, so if you have Chem Spray and you Chem Spray after the flare hit, you need to wait an additional time to Chem Spray again to bring the gun below overheat.
Yeah. Now it
You
looks like they're
need
trying
to
to
do it
shoot
twice.
that Junker with the Hades, but Junkers are like the worst ships to try to hit the hull with when it comes to Hades. Just nightmarish.
I've seen some Gallon gunners shoot the Hades strictly at the balloon of the Junker because they
Yep.
expect the armor to destroy the balloon, so the
Yep.
Hades would just hit the armor in the end.
Yep, start some fires, add more damage to the balloon if it can, then contribute to the hull once the balloon's down. That is a viable tactic, yeah.
The Skullfish trying to do some semi-sneaky maneuvering.
Oh, there comes the Minotaur now, spinning that Junker around.
Minotaur. Do you think how effective the Minotaur will be in this? How key this Minotaur will be for them, for the Bards?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, these are skilled pilots, so it's a little harder. It's kind of like putting the flamethrower to the test. It's not as if flamethrowers are completely useless, but if they have the opportunity, it certainly plays as a sort of unnecessary distraction to what they're trying to do. So I think, as far as hitting the Junker, it has a really high acceleration to turning, so that it could just turn itself back again. But the Mobula might have a tougher time with it, so assuming that's what it'll start focusing on when they have the opportunity.
Yeah, Mobiles are very vulnerable too. Oh my god, this Mobiles really low to this mountain. They could get pushed into it by the Minotaur. Minotaur can push ships around also, not only turn them.
Yep, that's very true. Yeah.
But yeah, Mobile
Great for,
very
pushing
vulnerable
ships away.
because despite its being very strong, it has very slow turning acceleration. So when you turn it around and the pilot is catched off guard, he will take some time to turn around, which will screw up the gunner's aiming because when the ship is moving, the shots will go everywhere but the target.
Yeah. It's certainly it's a useful weapon when you have ships you want to push out to arming time for certain weapons, like that lumberjack on the galleon, for instance. You know, so it certainly helps with that a little bit.
This guild really doesn't know when to engage or how to engage.
Yeah, well,
It's
I
just
think
kind
he's
of
just trying to
flying
work out
around.
a strategy. It is pretty hard. These guys have a good control and lockdown on this situation at the moment.
Well,
Hasn't
is
been
he
any clear-
going to try to engage from really down low? Because that might
possible,
just
yeah.
work, because this balloon could tank some Hades and Artemis won't do any damage to the balloon.
Yeah, if those balloon, if that, the cloud cover keeps him hidden, then he certainly has the element of surprise.
This Galleon just has to fight off 2 ships for this entire game. For Galleon. And
Oh, but
do
to
you
be
like to
fair-
engineer?
Me? I mean, to put it bluntly, like, I like to pilot the most as far as all 3 roles go. The 2 other roles are sort of like there because I wanted to learn how they work on the ships, so I could be a better pilot for it. Doing those 2 roles, though, engineering is really nice depending on what role I have. If it's like standard kit engineering on a Pyramidion, for example, I don't have to pay attention to anything except repairing, which is really nice if I want to zone out. But if I want to enjoy keeping myself very active, like buff engineering on a goldfish, for example, is really fun because it keeps me constantly chem spraying, buffing, repairing, all those 3 things constantly. So it's a lot of running around. So I don't know. It's nice depending on my mood. Frankly, if I feel like having a more relaxing session, it's certainly less stressful than than piloting because there's so much to look after and coordinate. So when I do feel like just chilling out those certain days, I'll just pilot or engineer a gun.
So, do you think you would want to be the main engineer for Galleon, who has to rebuild the armor every 2 seconds before it dies, and shoot the Hades with tip-top accuracy at 2-kilometer distance?
I don't
1
mind
kilometer.
main engineering on a galleon, frankly. It's a pretty doable ship to work with. I think, yeah, it has a pretty high hull armor stat, anyways, so it can stand up to a lot of hurt before it breaks. But saying that, mentioning that, it does take longer to rebuild it too. So it does make it kind of a pain, especially if you're getting disabled by the balloon as well. So, which in this case they're not, but
Well, the balloon's on fire, and there's a hull
Yeah.
fell.
yeah, it doesn't help. Yeah.
The Ancient is too busy to face that one cycle of fire.
Yeah, these guys are certainly keeping the Bard team busy with repairs.
Yeah, it all depends on the Goldfish to distract these long-winged ships for long enough for the Galleon to get some good shots on them.
Yep.
But they just keep getting further and further away, which makes it even harder to hit for the Galleon.
And see, these guys are playing into their strength. I mean, the Mobula can move forward and be really aggressive, but that Junker is kind of just staying put, shooting away, and that's really where its strength lies, is solid reactive gameplay there, and just opening up where it's opportunistic, frankly. So
these two ships are not the weak in close range either. Like the Mobula has the Gatling flag Artemis combination in close range, and the Junker. This Junker actually has the same gun combination.
Now, it's interesting to see players bring a flak instead of mortar, just simply because the arming time for flak is generally further out than the total range of standard Gatling fire. But if you're looking to have some similar projectile fire with the speed and the arcs, like a Banshee, for instance, then you stand to benefit with that, I suppose. But to be fair, I think I probably would have stuck with like a Banshee Gat instead of a flak Gat, just because I think you do more dimension of damage too. But each person's different. That's what makes it beautiful about this whole engagement process. So, and the flaks certainly, because of how specialized they are as weapons, I mean, they do strictly explosive damage, which is pretty catastrophic if they do get to arming time to open up on the ships. Like you saw with that Galleon.
I guess what they want to avoid with this, the problem what they want with the flag is that in case the enemy does get too far away, like a Junker cannot pursue its enemy. Like this Junk would have to turn around it if it had the mortar, because the enemy would the Goldfish could just fly backwards and the mortar couldn't hit it reliably anymore. I think this is what they're trying to avoid. And the flag inside arming time has a damage very similar to a Banshee, and the Galleon is losing armor. Will it die here? Mercury's hitting. Artemis? Not yet.
Hades kill?
While we were talking about flak and mortars, this Goldfish has been sneaking around this entire map.
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah, look at that.
But the Galleon has been taking some pretty good hits. So let's see how that works out.
The Galleon's moment to push out and keep them distracted as long as they can.
Oh my god, the Mobula is going for this. The Goldfish is going for the Mobula.
Ooh, that ram.
The balloon is damaging this Mobula.
No, it's not down yet.
Chunky losing balloon too. Mobula keeping the balloon actually. Goldfish actually lower than the Mobula right now. And behind it. Mobula is behind the Goldfish. The Goldfish lost the balloon. Well, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, it was a good charge in the back there, flanking from behind. It was really beautifully executed. The only downside was the balloon went down on the Goldfish.
Yeah, he may have rammed a little bit wrong. Oh my god. Double Gatling, double flag.
Triple Gatling looks like. Was it double? Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty sure so.
Oof, oof. Oh, that hurts.
All those flags.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that balloon was pretty much.
The Galleon would damage the Mobula's balloon and destroy the Mobula's balloon. This could be the end. Unless the Mobula gets up too quickly as it does.
Yeah, who knows? It was really well executed on both sides as far as the flanking and then the counter attack there as well. So, but oof, that balloon. I think that was probably the one critical element that probably shouldn't have been as damaged as it was, because it really put them on the ground for too long. So
yeah, the charge was really nice, but they just didn't account for losing balloons. And he may have been too ram happy. Like, this is a problem I've seen when piloting a Mobula myself. A lot of pilots do against my Mobula piloting. Oh look, this guy is going for a suicide shot. They get too ram happy. They think Mobula's squishy. It doesn't have a lot of armor and hull, and it doesn't weigh much, so it takes even more damage from rams. It's kind of true, yes, but as you've seen, if you're too ram happy, the Mobula isn't losing balloon completely. And even if it does, it's not guaranteed. You will just fly past the Mobula, and then you're in front of 5 guns. It's not gonna do.
It looks like the Galleon's pushing in now. Not really sure. It's just trying to see if it can push and make a difference.
I think it's just a suicide charge.
Oh no, Goldfish is in here too. Oh boy.
What is happening? What are the Bards doing? Bards, this is not a bar.
Oh, yes. A nice dodge on the Junker there.
Makes sense.
A bit too high maybe, but yeah, definitely dodged the Goldfish completely.
It It went so high it zoned itself out from the engagement a little bit.
It's still opening up the Gatling there, so...
But it's hitting the balloon mostly. The move's the only one hitting the hull, and the mope is killing the goldfish. Because the goldfish tries to run. Will he succeed in running? It's exposing the engines to the enemy.
Yep.
Oh no.
Shredding that armor. Oof.
All the flags. The Artemis. The Gatling out of range. Mercury back in range. This goldfish might just die again.
Oh boy.
Well, at least we make nice fireworks. Have you noticed that Alien stopped playing Counter-Strike for once and is watching me stream this thing? Thanks, Alien.
Hi, Alien.
Appreciate it.
Alien.
Showing support.
Why is he not in Mumble anyway? Like, he should be there casting with us. Triple caster, man. That is the casting meta. I would say full caster.
I've heard it was pretty disastrous doing triple casters, but I wouldn't know. I just do this one a few times off and on, so.
Alien is bored. You could have been here, Alien. I have university stuff to do and I'm here.
I really like how I mean, despite the score difference right now and how things are performing, I think I'm really enjoying how the Bards are trying to use different flanking maneuvers to kind of ambush, and it seems like the timing's a bit off for either ship, so they don't move in at the same time. Because I remember that's the thing with the Thralls when they were a team back in the day. They would ambush at the same time with intensive efficiency. So it really put the team being attacked kind of on split confusion there, and that's the beauty behind it too. Is the confusion.
Is the goldfish just going to charge right in there? Is it how it's going to be? Is this the end of the Bards? A duck on the goose.
Oh, the triple fire.
The goose is loose.
Wait, that Mobula has 2 Gats, right?
They're just trying to buy time for the Gallon to charge in, it appears.
Yeah.
But it may not live that long.
Down again.
How about show P? Is it OP
enough?
Doesn't stop the guns. Goldfish lost the balloon actually. Losing armor too, flag hitting!
Oh. Yeah, well played on the cake, and Solars, they did a really good job. Really on a roll these last 2 matches, goodness. It was 5-1, 5-0, it's a pretty intensive trend here. Now this is the first match that this is the first SCS that Solar's in, or have they participated in the past?
No, they have participated in last week's SCS.
Have they?
And I think they were semi-champions actually.